Welcome everybody. Let's talk about the market. What happened today? Today is a daily. I'm saying today. Yeah, today's Monday. This is the daily chart. Let's look at the Dow Jones Transportation first. Look at this. Bing bong. It's tracking sideways. And I just don't think this is going to get a whole lot of momentum right now. The reason I say that, or price increase, I should say to be specific, but I say that because momentum is, on the MACD still pointing down here. And it's not fully negative yet, but it's trying to get there. If this gets below, this line gets below, it'll be fully negative. The fast line, slow line. So I just don't think we're going to get a big bounce here. This could just, maybe get up here a little bit. I just don't think we're going to see a strong late summer, early autumn push here. I think it's going to fail. Of course, it's still early days, and we're gonna let the market do what it does and tell us how to trade. Just a little bit of disclosure for me personally. What's going on with me is I'm just trading micro products, really small positions. I'm not doing any big trades right now. I mentioned this, I think, last Thursday when I put out my video Thursday. I've moved my money in a different place. I got a lot of brokerage firms, and I'm doing some other stuff with it, and it's working for me is the best way I'm going to put that, okay? And for now, I do still have some money sitting in brokerage firms, but I'm gonna be doing some micro trading and just keeping things small. So I'll still be active in the marketplace. I'll be probably trading micro gold. I might occasionally trade some micro indices. I may even trade some E-mini grains, which are really, really inexpensive. I might trade some currency futures, because some of them can be really inexpensive. So we'll be looking at, be on the lookout for that. I might do some trades from there from time to time, but I'm not going to be doing any big contracts, any big trades. Just going to be keeping it small. So that's kind of where I'm at, staying active, but keeping things small. Now let's go back to the charts here. Dow Jones Transportation, I don't think it's going to get a big bounce here. I just don't think that's going to happen. Let's take a look at the Russell 2000. Same thing here. Now this could get a little momentum underneath it, but it just doesn't look like it to me. It just has that feeling that this thing the indices are going to struggle. Okay, it's still too early to know for sure. Sometimes things will struggle initially and then take off, but this is just a massive waterfall going on. And when you get this kind of momentum like this, a super wide momentum. Look at that momentum. That is just heading towards negatory big time. Okay. So, and even if it does kind of temporarily bounce here, my instincts tell me we are not going to get a big bounce up into here. I don't think in the Russell 2000, you're not going to see 2200, maybe, but I don't think so. Okay. Let's take a look at the NDX, since we're looking at indices. Same thing here. Right? A little bit stronger impulse in the NASDAQ, and this is trying to make it. But you know what? I think it comes up, it fails, and it just doesn't make it. Do I have a daily chart here? No daily cycles here, but I just don't think it maybe gets up in here, comes back down. I'm not sure it's going to make a big, huge sweep up here and get strong momentum again. I just don't think it's going to happen. Okay, they all kind of have that same look to them. Let's look at the Nike 22K. We'll look at the futures to do that. Same thing here. They all have that same look, like they're really struggling here. Look at that, right on time. Of course, it's early days here, right? Way early in this cycle. This cycle is a big, huge cycle. It goes all the way up to November. So, yes, it could still get up into here. For the Nike 22K, will it get to 40,000? Yeah, maybe. I don't think it'll get to 41. I don't think it'll eclipse this cluster of candlesticks up here. And I question whether it'll even get it. But you see how you got these little clusters? I don't think it's going to struggle to get above 38,000. Though it could. It could. But this is just, look at this damage here. Oy, oy. Huge. We haven't seen that in a long time. Look how deep that momentum is on the Japanese market. This is, how far back do we got to go for that? Right? Let me tell you something right now. The Japanese market, I think, is even a better indicator potentially for what's to come in the world economy. I'm serious. It could be forecasting a lot of danger. Now, I'm not saying that for sure, but I'm telling you guys, I've been saying this for the last few months, there's something in the wind, and I think the United States and the world economy is going to take a huge hit. It's coming. I don't know exactly when, but I just keep getting that feeling, man. There's just signs telling me that we're heading for trouble. Okay, I don't mean the next few weeks or months. I'm talking, whatever. It's hard to know exactly when, but I just get that feeling, when we get into 2026 and beyond, things are going to start getting weird. All right, let me look at this on the weekly chart. I want to see, I guess the 3-year weekly. Okay, it went positive over here in April of 2023, like the very end of March, beginning of April. Okay. So the last time this thing was negative was, more than a year ago. But is it going to survive here? It might. It might stay above in the weekly chart. It may stay positive here and not get below it. It may survive this as we go into this. This cycle here is wrong for the weekly. Just get that out of there. So the weekly chart still has quite a bit to go before I would say, wow, the Nike 225 Japan is just in huge trouble. On the daily, it's in huge trouble, but it hasn't really poured over into longer time frames yet. So we're going to keep an eye on that. This is I think the Japanese market could potentially be a really big indicator on what's to come. Okay, let's look at the yen, because I know the yen was something that was, it's just kind of flattening out here. Bing bong. Going to track sideways here and then maybe come down a little bit. Okay, let's look at the US dollar, because it's probably doing the exact opposite. It's probably at the bottom and just tracking sideways. That's my guess. Yeah, it's just the opposite of the yen. Down here, tracking sideways, blah, blah. Now look at this, the price, if you will, on the dollar. It's over 100, right? It's valued at 103. But let me tell you something where I think this is headed. I believe the US dollar in the next 10 years or less is going to go below this is a less than sign, $70. It might even hit $60. Okay, that's where I think the dollar's headed. It's going to get crushed. Now think about that. Now, could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be extremely wrong, but I think the dollar is going to fall below $100. It's going to fall watch what's going to happen with the dollar. It's going to fall below 100. It's then going to fall below 90. And then people are going to be like, wait a minute. They're going to start realizing something's up. When it starts crashing below the 90 and making its way down below 90, then the world's going to take notice, okay? The chances that happen are very high. Then we're going to see 80 and 70, and then we'll see what happens once it gets below. If it gets below 70, if the US dollar gets below 70, watch out. And here we are way back here, 70.69. Okay, and this goes all the way back to February of 2000. Okay, at least for the data that's here on this platform. This is monthly chart. You can forget about those cycles. They don't mean anything. They really shouldn't be on there. I guess I can go to this one. So there's your monthly cycles. They're actually pretty spot on. Look at this. This is monthly cycle for the dollars, US dollar. Look at this. Monthly. Look at this craziness. Look how consistent this cycle is. Guess what? US dollar. October of 2024. Okay. And then the next one is February of 2028. And that one out there, folks, that February of 2028, oh yeah, you want to watch that one. That's when I think we're going to see that next big cycle in the monthly chart here, going out into past 20, that's why I said past 2026, going through 2033, watch out. And this cycle way over here on the monthly chart for the US dollar, way out there in 2028, oh yeah, That's what I'm talking about out there. That's when you can see the US dollar fall below 70. And we see an economic collapse worldwide, way out here. Okay? I think that's coming. And I think this cycle here on the US dollar is going to play a part in it. We're going to see a collapse. All right. Let's go over now and look at the S&P 500, and we'll do it through the futures like we always do. Let me switch over to the, we'll look at the weekly chart first, okay? Look at this weekly chart. This thing just looks like it wants to do it. It just wants to give it up. This going into the end of this year, October 13th, that big old candlestick like that, normally you'd say that's a bottom, and it does have that kind of morning star look to it. So we can see a bounce here. Will it get past 54.95? It might. It might. But I don't think it'll get past 5,600. I think that's going to be like really hard for it to get above this. Okay? There's a long way to go still for this cycle before it drops down here. I don't think it's going to get up to 5,600. I think this whole thing's going to struggle. Whatever it's going to do here on the weekly chart, and then it's going to head down going into the middle or late part of autumn. Okay, let's go look at the daily chart. There's August 22nd. The market looks extremely weak to me. It's trying to do the bouncy bounce thing. It's kind of doing it. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? Maybe it gets back up to 5,600. Maybe. You can just see that here, this cluster of candlesticks, these two candlesticks, this is a big resistance zone right here at 5,600. Huge. There's one at the bottom. You see this right here? You can just tell at the bottom. That's about 54. I don't know. We could put a quarter there. We'll call it 54 and a third. We'll call it 54.40 to be safe. There's a 54.40 resistance, and the next one is 5,600. Those are big ones. You can just see this box. I mean, resistance and support areas really aren't as hard as people make them out to be. So you've got this little cluster of candlesticks. You got this cluster of candlesticks. Okay. Basically, it's a big box right here. Okay, and this is going to be major resistance. Really hard. Initially, it's got to get above, let's say, 54.40, which that I think it can do, but I don't think it'll get up to this 5,600. Just not going to happen. Low chance. Low chance. I think the damage is done, and this thing's going for a ride. Okay, let's look at the intraday charts. Where were the trades of the day for the S&P 500? Let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look. Here's a 5-minute chart. Let me tell you something. This is a day, this was a very volatile day for intraday. Okay, even overnight was quite a bit of action. But momentum was just, this is not what we call an easy trading day. Because look at momentum here. Just constantly touching the line. All the way through the night. All the way through the night. Initially it made this big drop early when futures opened up last night, and then it kind of hung around this 53.70 area for quite a few hours. Got back up to 53.80, stuck around there for a while, touched 53.90, just kind of moved in 10-point ranges. So there was opportunity here last night, but not easy trading. I wouldn't have traded this last night. It's just, when the momentum is just tacking along that line and going back and forth like that, way. Then this morning, typical pre-market stuff, it gives it up big time. Okay? We get this whipsaw going on. Massive whipsaw. Let's stretch this out a little bit. Okay? This here, this is super weak. Look at this. Comes down. Doesn't get to the top, fails, and gives it up. You get this purple candlestick. You could trade that down to the bottom here if you wanted to, but the real trade of the day, guys, was right here. Guys and gals, this was the trade of the day. This is the one that's very reliable, is that trade right there. You want to be looking for those kind of opportunities right there. 9:55 a.m. my time here in Texas. You're looking for the SMI to roll over. It begins to roll over. It gets a gap going on here, right? In between the two lines, it starts to roll over. Okay. You get into trade somewhere within these 3 or 4 candlesticks, you take the trade. You can see it's starting to run out of gas. It's tracking sideways. You get that funny looking, almost doji looking, what do they call this? Not sure, it's called a hangman. This candlestick right here is like very telling. I forget the name of this candlestick right there, but that candlestick is very telling. Okay. That's a get in and I'm going to take a trade candlestick right there, that green one. And then about 10 minutes later, huge 32-point drop. Okay, that's your trade of the day right there, coming off this Gators Plus indicator right here. Wait about 20 minutes. I would have taken the trade on the close of that candlestick right there for sure. That candlestick right there has got trade me written all over it. Take a trade. And then, like I said, 10 minutes later, just huge. This all happened in 5 minutes. Massive. 32 points. Okay. And we divide that by 2. And we get $1,500 plus another $100, $1,600 for one E-mini, and $160 for a micro. Whoops. That's a cheesy looking 6. $160 for a micro. Okay. So really awesome trade day right there. That's the one you're looking for. You're looking for those kind of opportunities right there. Big old whipsaw action, bing, bong, bing. And this one was the one right here where you make the trade. Listen, you want to become a member? $7.99. That's it, every month. And today right here, I showed you how to make a minimum of $160 on a tiny, tiny little micro trade and $1,600 on one E-mini contract. Okay. These charts get streamed live every day to the members. 5-minute, 15-minute, 1-hour chart. Okay, the Gators Plus indicator is available for the members. They get to see it in the streaming charts. They get to see this trade taking place, or I should say the possibility of a trade. Okay, they get this signal. This actually shows up here on the chart for the streaming charts for the members, as well as an alert going to the Discord server. So really nice. Okay, I also stream not only the S&P 500, but I stream gold. So for those that want to trade gold, you can, as a matter of fact, today gold was on a ripper. And the cycles on gold, I had the hourly cycles because I do cycles. If you don't know what cycle analysis is, you want to join and check out these cycles. Okay, the cycles have been very good. On gold, the cycle, hourly cycle was right on the button, and then gold took off. So opportunities in gold as well. Every night I send out an email, and I send out 5 different charts. The weekly and daily S&P 500 chart, and 3 2-hour directional charts, which is really great for swing traders on the 3 major indices. And of course, I always give my opinion about what I think the market's going to do the next day, which is rare. I don't know anybody else is putting out every night. They talk about what they think the market's going to do the next day. That's like rare. Most people won't take that chance because they never want to be wrong. Okay, but I always give my opinion about what I think the market's going to do. So that's in the email too with the 5 charts. Okay. So you get the streaming charts of S&P 500, you get the gold streaming charts as well, and you get the nightly email. There's also premium symbols that I put on the Discord server every day. Okay, so you can access those and look at those symbols. Really, really nice. Okay, all for $7.99. I honestly believe if you're patient, you're going to make more than enough money to cover the membership. I mean, the membership is a steal at basically $8 a month. All right. So the link is in the description of this video. It's a Discord link. Make sure you read the instructions. Click on it. Join. I think you're going to be very happy with the membership. I think that's everything I got to cover today. The market is going to have plenty of opportunities. I think especially as we get into, going into autumn, I think the market's going to pull back. I think there's going to be opportunities to trade short. And you can do that through options. Either, it could be simple, just puts. It could be more complex option strategies to take advantage of the market declining. It could be futures, which is usually what I trade. Futures we don't care. Futures traders trade long, trade short. It's all the same to us. We're just using margin and trading long or short. So there's a lot of different ways to profit from the market going short, right? You don't want to be shorting stock, right? There are other ways to make money on the market going down, yeah. All right, that's it for today. Hope everybody had a great day of trading. Today is Monday. We got a whole week ahead of us. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.